Hello everyone. Today we will discuss the scope of public administration. We have already discussed the meaning and the nature of public administration, and the third topic is on the scope of public administration. Scope means the extent of the area of study. So if we want to study the scope of public administration, we will have to study the major concerns of public administration as an activity and as a discipline. So when we talked about the meaning of public administration, we said that there was a traditional definition, the traditional view of public administration, which had a narrow view of public administration, and there was also the modern view of public administration, which had a much broader perspective on public administration. So in that same vein, there is also much debate over the scope of public administration between followers of traditional and modern view. We are only going to discuss two views on the scope of public administration. The first one is the post-scope view, and the second one is the subject matter view of the scope of public administration. Now, coming to the post-scope view of the scope of public administration, this view was advocated by Lothar Gulick. We are very lucky we have Lothar Gulick, who coined this very famous acronym post-scope to explain the 7 elements or principles of public administration, and we also use this to discuss, to explain the scope of public administration. So Lothar Gulick believed that administration consisted of 7 elements, and he summed up these elements in the acronym post-scope, each letter of which implies one element of administration. He explains these 7 elements of administration in the following way. Now, the first letter P stands for planning. Planning means to work out in very broad outline what are the things that are needed to be done in the organization, and what are the methods that are to be adopted for doing them, and what is to accomplish the purpose of the organization. Second letter O stands for organizing, which means to establish the formal structure of authority. Formal structure of authority by which the work will be subdivided, the work will be arranged, and it will be defined, and it will be also properly coordinated. This is called organization. And the third letter S stands for staffing, which means personnel administration, administration of the entire personnel system in the organization. That is how officials in the organization, how they will be recruited, how they will be trained, what will be the salary that they will be getting, what will be their conditions of work, what will be their retirement benefits, and so on and so forth. So staffing means personal administration. You're going to study about personal administration in your 4th semester, so an entire paper on personal administration will be devoted to staffing. Okay. Now, the next letter D stands for directing, which means making decision. Now, decision making is a very, very important element of public administration. Herbert Simon, who is a very famous administrative thinker, says that administration is all about decision making. So everywhere, at all levels in the organization, what officials do is they make decisions. So decision making is an act of administration at Tiani. So after these decisions are made, orders and instructions will have to be given out. Orders and instructions, specific orders and instructions will be given out so that these decisions can be carried into practice for the realization of goals in the organization. And the next letter, in fact 2 letters, CO, stands for coordinating, which means since there are various persons, various agencies working in the organization, performing different types of duties, and they have their separate responsibilities, but at the end of the day their goal is the same, their objectives are the same. So all of these agencies, all of these officials, all of their work have to be interrelated so that there will be efficient and effective achievement of goals in the organization. So coordinating means interrelating the works of various divisions, of various sections, of various officials and other parts of the organization in order to get the job done properly. The next letter R stands for reporting. Reporting means keeping informed those to whom the executive is the decision maker, keeping informed those to whom the executive is responsible as to what is going on, and this includes keeping oneself and one's subordinates informed through records, research, and inspection. So, reporting means informing superiors within the agency to whom the executive is responsible about what is going on in the organization, how far works, how far programs, projects have been implemented, what are the problems faced in the implementation of programs and policies, and so on and so forth. So a very important element of public administration. Last but not least, we have the letter B, which stands for budgeting. Budgeting means fiscal planning, more making budgets, but control, financial control, and accounting, and it refers to the entire financial administration of the organization. So according to Gulick, the POSCO activities that we have mentioned before, the activities of planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, budgeting, are common to all organization. Nextly, we come to the subject matter view of the scope of public administration. See, though the POSCO view of the scope of public administration was acceptable for quite a long time, there arose a reaction in the course of time against this view. It was realized that POSCO activities or techniques of administration can neither be the whole of public administration nor even a significant part of it. And because the POSCO view advocates that the problems of administration are same in all agencies regardless of the peculiar nature of the functions that they perform. Thus, it overlooks the fact that different administrative agencies are faced with different problems, because there are so many different agencies working side by side, so many different organizations in the government who perform different types of functions. So all of their problems and issues cannot be the same. So the POSCO view of the scope of public administration cannot be considered as the whole of public administration, and so therefore we have the subject matter view of public administration. And one more thing, the POSCO view represents only the tools of administration, tools and techniques of administration, whereas the substance of public administration is something different. More, the real core of administration consists of providing various services to the people in the form of through various departments such as the Defense Department, Health Department, Agriculture Department, Education, and so on and so forth. All of these agencies responsible for providing different types of services. They have to provide different services to the people, and in the course of providing services to the people, they are faced with a variety of problems. They have their own specialized techniques which are not covered by the common POSCO techniques. So in other words, each administrative agencies have their own local POSCO techniques because of the subject matter to which it is concerned. So further, Gulick's common POSCO techniques are also influenced by the subject matter of administration, that is the services and activities in which they function. So POSCO view is technique oriented rather than subject oriented. That is, it ignores the essential elements involved in public administration, namely the knowledge of the subject matter. What this means is that, for example, if you take police administration, it has its own techniques in crime detection, maintenance of law and order, etc., which are much more vital to efficient police work. And this type of functions are not performed by another department, say, for example, PHE department, whose main job is to maintain and upkeep water installation in the state. They have to provide adequate portable water supply to the general public. They have to lay pipe work and tankers so that the entire community will have a sufficient supply of water, and their work is so much different from police administration or police department. Likewise, we have the rural development department, whose main job is to bring about socio-economic development and focus on health, education, drinking water, housing, and roads. So the roles of all of these agencies of the government differ from one another, and the POSCO view cannot cover the entire scope of public administration. So when we study the scope of public administration, we should not only study the techniques of administration but also the substantive concerns of public administration. However, I would like to add here that the post-scope view and subject matter view are not mutually exclusive to one another, but in fact they complement each other. They together constitute the proper scope. Together they complement each other, they constitute the proper scope of the study of public administration. So according to one scholar, Lewis Merriam, he says that public administration is an instrument with two blades like a pair of scissors. One blade may be the knowledge of the field covered by post-scope, and the other blade is knowledge of the subject matter in which these techniques are applied. So post-scope view as well as the local post-scope view or subject matter view are both important. They are like two blades of the same scissor. They work together, they complement each other. Both blades must be good to make an effective tool. And administration is also concerned with the what and the how of the government. The what is the subject matter and the technical knowledge of the field which are covered by post-scope, which enables the administrator to perform his tasks properly. And the how of public administration is the technique of management, the principles according to which the cooperative programs are carried to success. Each of these two views is indispensable to one another, and together they form the synthesis called public administration. Okay, and with that I conclude this lecture. Thank you again for your patience. Thank you so much.